building in-ground swimming pools. The owner of the business sold the pools and then paid me a set price to perform the installation. I in turn hired the labor, paid for the materials, and collected payments from the customer. Whatever was left after all the bills were paid was my salary. If everything went well, we could build one pool per week. But one summer we were dramatically behind that pace. It was starting to look as though I might not be able to afford to return to school in the fall. In early August, the owner of the company came to me with one last job on the far north side of Chicago that had the possibility of netting a nice profit for both of us. The challenge was that it was too far away to drive back and forth from home each day. My solution was to borrow my dad's little camper that sat inside a pickup truck. I planned to find some sort of campground near the customer's house and live at the campground for the week. The first day we arrived on the job, the homeowner offered to let us leave the camper in his backyard, so that is what we did. We took down a few sections of their wood fence and stacked them in the back corner of the yard. Then we pulled the truck all the way in and unloaded the camper next to the pieces of fence. We dug the hole, which took up a significant percentage of the yard, and began building the pool. About midweek, it started raining and continued for the next 7 days. By now, I had missed the date I was supposed to return to school, but I had to finish the job. Finally, the weather broke, and we started working. It was a muddy mess, but we slogged through as hard as we could. It was a happy day when we finally completed the pool and started filling it with water. All that was left was to pick up the tools, retrieve the camper, and head for home. We started to drive the truck around the new pool, but after all the rain, the dirt around the pool was nothing but slippery mud. The tires simply could not get any traction. There we stood, looking over the new pool to the back corner of the yard where my dad's camper sat. When I close my eyes, I can still hear the sound of those wheels hopelessly spinning. There are few things worse than being stuck. Stuck. You might feel like that. Many men and women have relationships filled with habits they wish would go away, like the spouse who promised to communicate better but just lashed out with biting sarcasm again, or the father who wants to be more positive but just yelled at his child again, or the single person who wants to be pure but just fell into immorality again. Could the past have anything to do with it? It goes further. There are the private failures. Another night of internet pornography. Another trip to the liquor store. Another purging session after dinner. Like Jeremiah's leopard that cannot change its spots, such persons are exhausted from promising and failing over and over again. Could the past have anything to do with it? But the worst is being stuck in the heart. Bitterness, jealousy, revenge, rage, disappointment, hatred, lust, wrath, discouragement, fear, worry. Many persons have thoughts and desires that are both loathsome and familiar. They know they should think differently, but such patterns feel like home. Perhaps you can relate to men and women who hate those words, stuck again. I know I can. The sound of the rotating wheels of an unchanging life can be frustrating, mocking, and hopeless. Could the past have anything to do with it? Being stuck is a topic for everyone. No one has mastered the process of change. Regrettably, some have even stopped trying. They have concluded that substantive change and the hope it brings for the future is beyond their grasp. But surely the God of heaven disagrees. For men and women struggling with past suffering, God stands ready as the Father of mercies and God of all comfort, who comforts us in all our affliction. 2 Corinthians chapter 1, verses 3 through 4.